All right, Lakers fans, buckle up because what's coming in this offseason might shake the NBA landscape. And guess who could be right at the center of all the chaos? That's right, the Boston Celtics. Now, it's not every day you'll hear about your biggest rival potentially hitting the reset button, but that's exactly what's been floating around. There's a real possibility that the Celtics decide to strip it all back, especially with Jason Tatum expected to miss significant time after tearing his Achilles. That kind of injury is no joke, and if Boston chooses to play it safe and let him recover fully without rushing anything, it could mean a full season without their franchise player, and potentially a completely new direction for the team. And look, when a team like the Celtics even flirts with the idea of a rebuild or reset, every other franchise in the league starts to circle like sharks smelling blood in the water. The Lakers, of course, have a front row seat to all of it, whether or not these two historic franchises would ever actually work together in a trade is always up for debate. The rivalry runs deep, but at the end of the day, this is a business. If a deal makes sense for both sides, don't be surprised if they put history aside and make it happen. The real question becomes, what exactly are the Celtics trying to do? Are they looking to stay competitive while Tatum recovers, maybe bring in a few vets and try to hang in the playoff race? Or are they seriously considering a full teardown, moving off expensive contracts, and clearing the books for a fresh start? If it's the latter, then the Lakers suddenly become a very interesting trade partner. Why? Because Los Angeles has a treasure chest full of expiring contracts. That gives them a unique advantage compared to other teams. Boston could move multiple players to the Lakers and clear tons of cap space in one go, something that not many teams can offer. So everything hinges on what Boston values more heading into the summer. Do they want flexibility and a clean cap sheet to rebuild around Tatum and maybe Jaylen Brown? Or are they still trying to contend and just want to shuffle some pieces? That decision could change everything. And it's the difference between the Lakers getting involved or sitting this one out. Now, assuming there's a window for a deal, the next step is figuring out which players actually make sense for the Lakers to target, and maybe more importantly, who they should avoid. Let's start with a name that's already been thrown around a lot, Kristaps Porzingis. And to be blunt, I'm not on board with that one. I've seen the chatter, read the comments, heard fans get excited about the idea of bringing him in. But personally, I'm out. The idea of Porzingis is always better than the reality. Sure, on paper, he's a dream, a big man who can shoot, protect the rim, and stretch the floor. He's under 30, still theoretically in his prime, and if you catch him on the right night, he can look like a superstar. But the problem is, those nights are too few and far between. Let's be real, Porzingis has been plagued by injuries. His entire career. Regular season? Missed time. Playoffs? Missed time. And it's not just minor stuff. It's always something significant, something lingering. Even when he sits out games to manage his body, there's no guarantee he'll be ready when it actually matters. And now we're hearing about some kind of respiratory issue. That just adds another layer of concern. This is a guy who might sit out for weeks and still not be right when he returns. You can't rely on that when you're trying to win a championship. The Lakers don't have the luxury Boston did this past season. The Celtics were deep enough to survive stretches without him. But the Lakers need every piece they can get to even have a shot at contending. And then there's the financial side of things. Porzingis is set to make over $30 million next season. Sure, it's an expiring deal. And in theory, that gives you some flexibility. If it works out, great. You're rolling with LeBron, Luka, and KP. But if it doesn't, that's $30 million tied up in a player who might not even be available when the playoffs start. Unless the Lakers are getting him for next to nothing, it just doesn't make sense. Maybe if Boston is practically giving him away just to dump the salary, then maybe you consider it. But that feels unlikely. So yeah, I'd pass on Porzingis even if the fit looks good on a whiteboard. Now, if we're talking about real targets, players who actually make sense and could come in and contribute right away, two names come to mind: Jrue Holiday and Derrick White. Let's talk about Jrue first. He's older, sure. He'll be 35 in June, but he's still one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire league. And when you look at what the Lakers need alongside Luka and LeBron, Jrue checks a lot of boxes. He's battle-tested, a veteran who's won a title, knows how to defend at a high level, and doesn't need the ball in his hands to make an impact. He's exactly the kind of player you want, guarding the opposing team's best guard in a playoff series. Now, obviously, everything depends on the cost. If the Celtics are asking for someone like Austin Reeves and a first-round pick, you hang up the phone. But if it's more about Boston wanting to get off the money, and Jrue is owed over $32 million next year with a player option for nearly $37 million after that, then there might be something to talk about. Because from Boston's perspective, they're not going to find many teams willing to take on that kind of salary, especially for a player who's closer to the end than the beginning. The Lakers, with their expiring deals, could offer relief and maybe sneak into a deal that works for both sides. Jrue's value goes beyond just defense. He's a career 37% shooter from three, and while last year his percentage dipped a bit, he's consistently been a threat from deep. Playing alongside creators like Luka and LeBron would give him cleaner looks, more open shots, and probably boost his numbers right back up. He's also a guy who can give you a block and a steal a night, lead the defense, and just bring that professionalism you want in a locker room. He's been through every scenario you can imagine in the postseason and never seems rattled. That's the kind of experience you just can't teach. And then there's Derrick White. If there's one guy on this Celtics roster who feels like the perfect fit for the Lakers, it might be him. White is younger than Jrue, just turned 30, and still has a few prime years ahead of him. He's not quite as dominant at the point of attack as Jrue, but he's an elite help defender, one of the best shot-blocking guards in the NBA, and incredibly reliable. The man played 75, 76, and 82 games in the last 3 full seasons. That kind of durability is invaluable, especially when so many other stars seem to miss time constantly. Offensively, he fits just as well. White shot over 38% from 3 on high volume last year, more than 9 attempts per game, and nearly 60% from 2-point range. He's efficient, smart, doesn't force things, and knows how to play off stars. He doesn't need to dominate the ball to make an impact. He rebounds well for a guard, averages 5 assists, and gives you that two-way presence every team is desperate for. And his contract, while not cheap, is more manageable than Jrue's. Long term, he's set to make around $28 million next season, with a gradual increase over the following years, but still cheaper overall than Jrue Holiday's deal. The problem? Boston's gonna want a lot for him. Unlike Porzingis or maybe even Jrue, White has real value across the league. Teams with assets and cap space are going to line up if he becomes available. The Celtics won't let him go unless the return is significant, and that's where the Lakers might hit a wall. Are they willing to part with Austin Reeves or other key pieces to land him? That's the tough call. But again, it all circles back to what Boston wants. If they're prioritizing expiring money and cap flexibility, maybe they're more open to a deal than we think. Still, if you had to rank the targets, Derrick White probably tops the list. He's the most complete option, the most consistent, and he gives the Lakers everything they need on both ends of the floor. But again, this isn't just about fit, it's about price. And unless Boston is in full fire sale mode, that price might be too steep. What it really boils down to is this: the Celtics are at a crossroads. Tatum's injury might force their hand. They can either try to ride things out and stay competitive or hit the reset button and build for the future. If it's the latter, then the Lakers, of all teams, might be in a position to help them do it. It's a strange twist of fate. And yeah, it's weird thinking about these two franchises helping each other. But the NBA is unpredictable like that. And if the opportunity's there, the Lakers have to at least explore it. Let's be honest, the clock is ticking. LeBron James isn't getting younger. The Lakers have a small window to make something happen, and they can't afford to waste time. Adding a player like Jrue Holiday or Derrick White could be the kind of move that swings a playoff series or even an entire season. They'd instantly boost the defense, give Luka and LeBron more room to operate, and bring a level of professionalism and toughness that this team sorely needs. Whether or not Boston is willing to make that happen is the big unknown. But if they are, the Lakers better be ready to pick up the phone. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. In a move that is set to shake up the NBA landscape, Michael Porter Jr. has reportedly agreed to join the Los Angeles Lakers, marking one of the most talked about off-season decisions so far. The 6'10" forward, known for his smooth shooting, stroke and scoring prowess, becomes a major addition to a Lakers team hungry to return to championship contention. Sources close to the negotiations revealed that Porter Jr. gave his verbal commitment earlier this week, sending waves through the basketball world. His decision to don the purple and gold adds both firepower and versatility to a Lakers squad that has been looking to bolster its wing depth and offensive consistency. Porter Jr., who has spent his NBA career with the Denver Nuggets, brings a unique blend of size, skill, and scoring ability. When healthy, he has shown flashes of brilliance, capable of lighting up the scoreboard with ease. His shooting, particularly from beyond the arc, could prove to be a vital weapon for the Lakers, especially with stars like LeBron James and Anthony Davis demanding defensive attention inside. For the Lakers, this acquisition is more than just about numbers. It's about reshaping their identity after a disappointing playoff run and questions surrounding the future of their core. Landing a young yet experienced forward like Porter Jr. signals a clear intent to compete at the highest level. It also raises the stakes for the Western Conference, as the Lakers now present an even more formidable lineup. While financial details and the exact structure of the deal remain under wraps, the message is clear. The Lakers are not waiting around. With LeBron's career entering its final chapters, every season is championship or bust in Los Angeles. The addition of Porter Jr. brings renewed hope to the fan base and adds a dangerous new dimension to the team's offensive arsenal. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.